We're snorting cap rates and shooting up cash flow here at Deal Junkies. Welcome back to Deal Junkies. We are back in the studio with Dustin Michael Miller, Mike Nuss, and Max has joined us. Mike has a little teeny dog named Max. He must weigh 200 pounds. He's sitting. He looks like he's going to eat me.
Yeah, this is really hard for him.
Is he hungry?
He's stressed out as can be right now.
He's sitting. Poor guy. At least it's not hot. Yeah. Well, maybe it's hot.
Well, he's panting because he's nervous.
It's okay, buddy.
Yeah, he's looking right at you like, dude, I'm going to eat your face off.
He hasn't been in here before.
He has not. He's never been in here.
Really?
And did you see how fast he ate his bone? Like, he's just nervous.
Is he a German Shepherd?
Yeah, full blown. Doesn't look like it, but he's full blown.
Supersized German
All right.
Shepherd.
The boys are still in Greece. We're in the podcast studio diligently providing content for our listeners. Dustin is going to tell us a little bit about his journey, and we want to talk about just some of the highs and lows of real estate and the things that have hurt a lot, lost a lot of money. You said something in the first episode. You talked about peace. You said that you grew up in an environment that was not only maybe your parents were poor or whatever, but really what drew you to your one uncle was his house was peaceful. Yeah. And so you value peace. And so in real estate, I find that it's pretty hard to find peace sometimes when you're playing this game that we're playing.
It is. It's stressful. It's really stressful. And but I think
he's calling you oxymoronic.
You looked for peace, and so you went to real estate.
Well, here's the deal with it is I think I feel comfortable in
chaos.
In chaos.
Absolutely.
So but I realize, when you meditate or you do sauna or something like that, you get that peace and it feels good. It feels like a relaxation and stuff like that. But the whole game is extremely stressful. Like, went to the doctor. The doctor was like, I think your blood pressure is a little high. I was like, oh, no, shit, it's a little high. Feel it. You feel stressed out. This is real bad. Okay? Not good right now. so
that's a really good job to go. This is what peace is like. So now this is stressed out. It goes
hard.
That fast too.
I mean, this stuff is heavy, and most people can't deal with it. And I can, and I do. You can handle a lot of things at one time, but it's tough. It's tough.
Do you think that's part of your DNA that helps you be successful in real estate? Is the fact that you're kind of a, would you call yourself a deal junkie? Like, real estate gets you high.
Absolutely, yeah.
So now you're doing something that's better for you.
Can I put that in my bio now?
Yeah.
Too. Replace girl dad with deal junkie.
Keep them both.
I think
absolutely official. Like,
You can be both.
Can we trademark people as deal junkies or certify them as deal junkies?
I put that as my handle now.
Certifiable.
Okay, so give us an example of a deal you were part of that just kept you up at night, took away your peace. Maybe you lost money or maybe you didn't, but like, what's the worst deal you've ever done that maybe gave you the most lessons, but not what you were really looking for?
It made me grow the most.
Yeah,
too. Like I'm really optimistic. I try to look at the good side of everything.
But at some point, you tell your doctor, like, I'm done growing. I just want to. I want my blood pressure to go down.
And now I'm dying. So
I'm growing. Now I'm dead.
Now I'm done. Yeah. It's funny that you mentioned this. Okay, what deal kept you up at night? And this one didn't come to mind. I was thinking of little ones that have had like little problems. So I must have just blocked this out. Like it is traumatizing to me. This one was like really, really tough. So I'll start. It was a lot I bought from an investor that was went under. Lender took it back, and so I bought this lot that you slice it up into 3, put a bunch of cottages, stuff like that. Big corner lot. We're gonna talk about Duke. So Duke was massive. So we purchased it, pretty good deal. Bought the land right. And at the time, the area was hot, up and coming Woodstock, and so it didn't quite matter.
It's not Woodstock, don't you fucking lie.
Okay, Brentwood isn't quite Woodstock.
There are cardinal rules that you don't fucking break.
Okay.
Duke Street and South is one of them.
Okay, got it. All right.
Sorry.
You don't buy on Duke.
I'm trying to talk like people that don't know there. It's Brentwood. Okay, we're talking like 67th and Duke. Okay, not quite Woodstock. You're like 10 blocks from Woodstock. Anyways, bought it right and got set up with somebody I knew in the industry that builds. Okay, we have 6 houses here. We are a GC, but we've got so much going on. We're gonna like sub out to other GCs and let them do something. And especially this is a bigger one. We're usually doing 2 at a time, 3 at a time, 4 at a time, and so we're gonna do 6 and let this guy do. We're gonna do these over here. So I partner with a friend of mine that builds multi-million-dollar houses on the West Hills on stilts, on like he's telling me stories. He's building houses on active landslides, right? He builds multi-million-dollar houses on the coast, like does really good stuff. He's gonna run this production like for us. We agree, and we're all set up on this guy. We got like 3 projects lined up for him, and we're gonna like head out with this guy. So he starts the project, and everything's actually going pretty good. It's like on track, and it's tracking right. He's hitting his budget. There's no change orders. We're like, hey, it's really good. Public Works, screws us over. So Public Works, we get like, pretty close to like drywall, and we're checking in with Public Works, and they don't even have their eyes on the public work permit. So we're doing it's a full corner. So we've got 300 feet of streets and sidewalks, 200 feet of streets and sidewalks. So we've got quite a bit of streets and sidewalks. We got 3 ADA ramps. We have a sewer main that needs to go in, a bunch of public work stuff that needs to happen, which is a deal killer for me now, not dealing with that shit. And I think a lot of it is just City of Portland's really bad at processing and trying to get that stuff done. So the Public Works we get wind that it's going to be delayed. So we're not going to be on track. Like by the time we're going to finish the project, the Public Work permit's we're not going to get through it. So it's like a little delayed. So the contractor kind of starts to use that as an excuse to not do and move things forward. He's like, oh, I need the water lines in here before I, install toilets. Like, not really, actually. So he starts to just kind of delay things. And then he starts up on another project with me, and that starts going pretty bad. It's cost plus, and he's just running up. I'm like, buddy, you're way over budget, and you're not, and then he's delaying and not starting, and just like time problems. And then we start to see time problems over on Duke. And so I fire him from 34th. I said, you're going to focus on this one. I'm not going to work with you on this one. Like we're going to cancel. These things aren't going well enough. And I think maybe that just took the steam out of his sail, and he got pissed off and just dropped everything. Like from then on, he was not involved. He did not give a shit about this project. And we finally he starts hiring crappy contractors. That the streets and sidewalks have been done twice now. Like you had to tear them all out and redo them, and they need to be redone again. So like that's like they're still not done.
So they're not passing inspection.
Right. Yeah. Wow. Way far off. Like hiring subpar contractors and just not showing up. The guy's not engaged. He's just kind of sending people out there and not doing a job.
How does somebody screw up a sidewalk? What do they do? Why do
the ADA ramps are really intense in Portland because they got sued a while ago. A wheelchair tipped over or something like that, and so now they have to have a private inspector come and inspect all the ADA ramps, and they're critical. They're very critical. So if the slopes aren't just right, I mean, you have to have the street to this slope's got to be this way, and then the rest of the sidewalks all got to drain correctly too. So it's somewhat flat. All this has to drain correctly, and it's somewhat challenging. But he just hired a subpar contractor that now has had to do it, a few too many times. So still is not done.
So the same contractor came back to rectify his job and did it wrong again.
And did it wrong again.
So is the same contractor going to rectify again, or are you just going to bring somebody else in to do it?
Well, we don't have the guy's been paid, so it's it's a $70,000-$80,000. And we got a bid to do it. It costs more to rip it out to redo it.
Yeah.
It's we made a mistake by probably paying the guy a little bit too much when things were done and weren't past inspection. So that's a lesson learned. Don't pay people till the inspection's passed, or have a pretty significant holdback. There's a lot of lessons.
Give them a down payment to get started and hold off on the last check.
No down payments anymore. Nobody's getting down payments. Get some work done. You're in a business. Get your damn work done and then invoice. Okay, the down payment is a massive red flag. Anybody that needs a down payment, I think, no,
because they got
No, I don't. I need the down payments.
Not on new construction. Like the vendors in new construction are typically a net 30.
Yeah.
In the remodel world, you're typically making a deposit. But no, it's definitely a red flag, and we definitely negotiate that. Like, even with the contractors that we have now, it's why do you need that much down?
Sure. Yeah.
When are you actually ordering the cabinets?
Yeah.
You know, it's stuff like that.
Or you order found some ways around it. Some things. The structure contracts better to where, you know, people are penalized. I think the other thing I learned too is like penalize people in the contract for going over. Like, this guy had no penalty. He didn't give a shit. He took over 2 years to build these 6 houses and complete them, and the streets and sidewalks are still not complete. So 2 years. So we're 12 months into it, which is too long. We're full blown, have pretty much drawn on everything. So we're looking at $25,000 a month in interest, and that just like, we're talking about a whole year of that going, and then market changes. So now these things are not selling for what we thought they would, and that area just becomes an area that's not desirable anymore. A lot of these cottages were built up, and there's a lot of options closer into the city for the same price, or and you know, back in the day when we bought this, you couldn't really buy in close in. Because things were just getting bid up so much, and so people were kind of pushed out to these outskirt areas and be like, okay, well, Duke's okay, you know, because I can't go buy, you know, in Lads or whatever, you know, these other areas that they're real nice.
Well, and what you found out is inventory is a reflection of demand, not supply. Like we try to say inventory is supply, but who you are as supply to the market is based on demand. And once demand shrunk, your competition increased, right? So it's a byproduct of demand, and then now you're competing with the less desirable area, the unfinished sidewalks, and the bullshit that you got your contractor into. Yeah. And that's really where, is like, if it would have been executed quickly when market conditions were better, when you had a lot of demand, your inventory wouldn't have been competing with all that other stuff.
Yeah, right. And so it just it started to, we draw, you know, talk about 6 houses, each one of them going down $50,000 or so, like, so profit's done, like profit's out, and no profit in it, and now we're accruing this interest at $25,000 a month, and so that went on for, you know, we didn't finally sell the last one for like, we're like 2.5 years into this. It was just really, really hurt. And, you know, you can hold that for a little bit of like, oh, here's some interest that's not accounted for. Like, you don't really have it in this project. Pull it from here, suck up this account. But it became a point to where, like, we had drawn on a lot of stuff. Like, everything is kind of like drawn on and stuff. So now it's like finding more money to feed this thing. And then you run up against defaults. And now, you know, for extensions, the lender sees red flags, and this project's not going so well, it's taking too long, and, you know, they want $70,000 to extend your loan. You're like, what? Why? Like, you know, that's crazy, that's insane. But you know, one of the conversations with the lender that I had, I'll never forget, and this is the room. I said, you know, it feels like you guys are really just trying to screw me over here. Like, you can tell this isn't a good situation, like, and you're just making it so much more difficult for me. I said, it's a really bad, like, it feels like a really bad partnership. And he goes, you know what? I'm not your partner, Dustin. I'm your lender. I was like, well, valid. Yeah, okay.
It is valid.
Lending partner. Yeah. They want to be your partner. I mean, they want to tell you what to do like they're your partner. Sure.
Yeah. I remember our first private lender on new construction. He said, you know, similar situation, you're going back to your lender and you're stuck. He's like, we'll give you enough to hang yourself with. That was their statement. Yeah, it was like, well,
God.
Yeah,
dirty.
Dirty.
Yeah. I won't put this lender under blast, but it hurt, you know. And the things, and I don't know, I'm just not like that. If somebody, you know, if I was in a situation, so I was having a hard time, I'm going to try to do what they can to help it. It almost feels like, yeah, they want to delay money. They want to short your draws. They want to like make this harder for you because they know they'll benefit. Maybe. I mean, I don't know. Yeah, not sure.
But they get in their own position in their own scenarios. And even when because we were in that same mess of technical defaults and having to do extensions and bring stuff back, and some of those were really easy, you know. And there's one lender we were having to do a lot of extensions with, and then the last one, they treated us a little less desirably. And that was because they saw we were reviving these with other loans, but it's like, we can't get loans from you because we're in default.
Yeah,
we got to go somewhere else to get the takeout loans.
Yeah.
And so I need you to extend so I can go get a loan from another lender. And they, it's like, well, come on, you need us to extend a $500,000 loan so you can get a $2 million loan, and we don't get the $2 million loan. So at some point, there's just some self-best interest that you're fighting.
Yeah. So I mean, and I learned a lot. So like massive. And so getting to the end of that and trying to get to the finish line was really tight. I mean, I remember walking into the office a lot of times, just head down of like, hey, we've exhausted all of our resources. This is going really bad. I don't even know what to do like next. And this was, probably like a year and a half ago or something like that. And so yeah, that was, I mean, sweating at night. I mean, just like really, really tough. Like in some bad situations where it's that's a massive loss. And I'd say it, ruined a partnership. So I have a partnership that has pumped the brakes. It was like, hey, that traumatized. Like never, partner doesn't ever want to do. And not that that's a massive project. Doesn't want to do anything that big again. Because,
and that was you said it was six,
just six,
houses or ADUs or what was it?
It was three bigger houses and then three ADUs.
Three ADUs.
Yeah,
okay.
So
Did they all get? So they all got finished, but not the sidewalk thing is still an ongoing.
Yeah. They're all sold. Loans are paid off. Everything's done. Just has like some debt to like clear up. It's gonna pull from other. So you have to make project.
So you still owe money on a project that's completed. You're not going to bring any more revenue in on it.
Right. Yeah. Still.
How much would you say you lost on that deal?
$350,000. Yeah, that's a lot.
We call that tuition.
Well, and how do you do that? How do you make
and just do the math here? $25,000 a month. It's all interest. That $350,000 was interest. It's time.
It's all time.
It was all time.
Just time.
Yep.
Right.
Holding costs.
Yeah.
So what are the lessons learned? Are you had the wrong partner, but you didn't know that going in.
It's hard, we've had successful GCs that we thought were great, and then they were great, and things get finished fast and on time and stuff, and it was a bad situation. This guy would call me on a Sunday, just slurring his words, like he's just hammered, at like at noon, and stuff, and I maybe fell off the wagon and just like some personal stuff, maybe. I don't know exactly, or maybe he's mad. I'm not sure what happened, or if he's just that bad. I don't know.
The building world all gets hit at the same time. Right. So think about that. What was he doing? He was doing big multi-million-dollar projects and active landslides, right? Yeah. So that's the thing, is if you're going out, so the bandwidth, right? We have these bandwidth discussions so often. If you make a decision with like, hey, a little bit more for us, we're going to hire someone else, we're going to bring in someone else, you're also bringing in everything else they're doing in their bandwidth. And can they handle it? Like you're making the bandwidth decision.
Yeah.
Are they making the appropriate bandwidth decision?
Sure. Yeah.
And then when you have a wrench thrown in like the public works, now it's a lot easier to just lose track.
Anything, these contractors say like, oh yeah, this is why I'm delayed. They point it back at you, obviously do it. But yeah, we had a problem too with him not paying people. In fact, maybe that's part of the problem. He didn't pay the contractor that did the sidewalks. Like, so the guys owed a bunch of money. We paid him, but he didn't pay him. And so now he's not motivated to do it or fix it. We've already paid him. We're just like completely like screwed on that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah, the times I've lost the most money is when I combined short-term financing, hot potato money I call it, with timelines that rely on the government. To move forward.
Sure.
When you combine, so basically what you're doing is you're taking money that's a ticking time bomb.
Yeah.
And you're taking a timeline that's bound by somebody who does not move very fast by nature. Yeah. They're just not efficient. They don't move things through. So you're pushing really hard to try to get things going because the time when your money is running out, and there is just no urgency on the other side to get that taken care of.
Oh yeah,
they're not worried about your carrying costs.
It was insane, right? Yeah, trying to deal with public works. And
so what was the worst thing? Losing $350,000 or losing the peace in your life? And
it was,
or the partnership, losing the partnership.
I don't even know that. I try to look at things in the positive, like that will change me forever, and that's gonna shape me, and I'm gonna learn lessons that I needed to learn. Maybe I needed to feel. Like I don't know.
Do you think instinctually you'll go into another deal now and you'll just know, like, no, that's not a deal for us?
Sure.
Just
you
learn. You maybe not even logically or thinking through. No, I'm not going to do this because it happened before. But you're just like, it's like hand to a hot flame, you're like, nope, not going to step into that one again.
Yeah, absolutely. Like that was like a $3 million exit on that one. So maybe I go into my next like $6 million deal, and it's going to be structured differently, and I'm going to watch out for those red flags, and I won't lose, $700,000, So I don't know, maybe, but yeah, I think the partnership probably of just, not that it like completely dissolved, but just kind of like set back a little bit and stuff. I think that's
put a dark cloud over it.
Yeah, that's a little rough, tough to swallow and stuff, And so I'd say that's probably the tough. The money is like, I like we do this business and it's just doing another project, and now I'm not gonna make money on that one because it's gonna pay for this one.
The last one.
It's like, okay, well, here's a charity project, so it's fine, so to roll over, a node into that one but I think it was tough too during that time, trying to pull money, move money around and stuff like that. Like it was
but you did it.
Stressful.
You did it. And you proved to yourself you could get out of the hot seat without getting flushed down the toilet.
Exactly right. Didn't lose anything. Kept everything afloat. No, nothing defaulted. Like just kept.
That to me gives you a whole new power. Like you realize you can get yourself out of a problem.
You can do tough things. Yeah.
When you have to.
Things. Yeah.
It isn't necessarily fun when it happens, but you did it.
Yeah. And it gives you the confidence to like, hey, I can handle this. Shit goes south, I can do that.
It's a blessing to have deals like that, as long as they don't wipe you out.
Yeah, right. And nothing went bad.
All right.
So we're all good. So we're out. We still need sidewalks. They're all sold. All the warranty stuff is always fun. Love new construction warranty, dealing with that stuff still. So not out of the weeds yet, but yeah, lesson learned, and on to the next one.
So let's talk about, on a brighter note, let's talk about your favorite deal. What's the best deal you've ever done? One that you just absolutely love. You wish every deal could be like this.
The thing you hear, listen to a lot of real estate and stuff, right? So how many times you heard somebody say, doing a duplex, like you might as well do a 20 unit.
Yeah.
Like it's the same damn process, it's the same thing. And so I think I've been ready to do something larger, multifamily, something that has a little bit more meat, just bigger scale, right? So the marina. So we bought a damn marina, and the whole thing. It's on Jansen Beach. It's right across the water from Island Cafe. So if anybody's ever been to Island Cafe, it's the one you stare at directly across the way. It's got 76 boat slips, 28 floating homes, and a couple of them, 12 of them, been sold off as an HOA. So we still own those docks, but not those. So anyways, we have a decent amount of floating homes there that we just rent the slips. So it's other people own the homes. We just rent the slips, and then we have all the boat space, the docks that we boat slips that we rent out too. So the marina was it's a seller finance deal, which is great, like really really decent terms on that, and we're buying it for it was listed, they wanted 2.1, we got down to 1.7, and we need to put $1 million into the marina, and but we're going to take the docks. This marina, you actually own the land, the mud underneath it, which is extremely rare in any marina because all the government owns the waterway. The city of the government owns the waterway.
You own the dirt underneath the river.
The mud, yeah, right. And
wow.
the reason is because that little Jansen Beach slough used to go a different route until somebody built a little dam, and then the water changed directions back in the 50s when they messed around with that levee, and then it opened up that little waterway. So that original little slice that we have is like we pay property taxes on it.
Wow.
Everybody else has this insane lease from the city. They have to lease their land, and it comes with a bunch of costs and restrictions, and there's heavily like managed, like as I'm part of this other marina as well, and like you can't even put your boat in certain places because they're always walking on eggshells, afraid that the city's going to pull their permit, so they cannot do that. This is like property that we actually like own, and one of the benefits of that is we own that out into the middle of the slough, so these docks are pushed into the shore quite a bit, and so we're able to push our docks back out into the river farther, and then we're going to double up our slips. So really really cool.
Oh, you can expand the dock itself.
Yeah,
okay.
Right.
Okay, because you own the land, so you don't have to get permission to do that. You're just working with the Army Corps of Engineers to do the dock.
Yeah, buddy.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So
that's cool.
that we're finding that's a big deal, a big advantage, but it's just not only all the BS that the city like throws on you and all the regulations and just crap like that. We're just like we're part of this the WOO, which is Waterfront Owners of Oregon. So it's really cool because you're in this room at the Oregon Yacht Club. You go meet once a month, and it's all the people that own these massive waterfront, like Big Eddies and stuff. They own these huge, like, massive marinas, and it's interesting to listen to those conversations and dialogue and just how it all like plays out. But it's funny how many times they say, "Oh yeah, you're all gonna have to do that." Oh, you guys don't have to do that. Like, oh no, the city's doing all this, and we're gonna have to pay this, and we don't want to pay. You guys don't have to do that. So, it's kind of cool. So,
is a marina a real estate play? I don't understand marinas. Like, is it real estate?
I mean, it's a floating
seller finance deal, baby.
I know, but is it like what you're getting cash flow? Does it appreciate? Can you finance it? Like, how do you make this thing worth? Like, you're going to turn this. You're taking a $1.7 million deal. You're going to put $1 million in. You'll be in at 2.7. You said it'll be worth close to $5 million when it's done. Part of that's your expansion because you're just making it bigger.
Right.
So it's worth $5 million on a cap rate based on the net income that the properties or that the marina is producing.
Yeah.
So then, who's the buyer? Like, if you were to find a buyer or refinance or whatever, how do you go about that on a marina?
Yeah, you can. They refinance, so people will draw loans on them, and that's probably our exit. So we have a 5-year balloon on this, and so we'll have to.
So it's considered real property. You can collateralize it.
Yeah,
a loan.
Yeah, real property. Take a loan out on it, and it. And
you own the mud underneath, but you don't own the water. You just have water rights.
Just water rights, right? Yeah, and
so I'm floating several feet above what I own.
30 feet, above, and it's just beautiful. I mean, I think that the Portland waterfront community or floating home community, just being on the water, I think is extremely undervalued. Like, one, they won't let you're not doing any more of it. They won't let you. They're not putting more docks in the water. So what we have is what we have. And if you go to Seattle, to the floating home communities up there, like, they're multi-million-dollar. They're just as valuable as like waterfront property. So if you're in Portland and you're on the river or something, right? Like, that's a desirable property. It's going to be it's 150% of something that's back. In Seattle, the floating homes are just as valuable as like waterfront property. Here in Oregon, they're way less. They're like trailers out here. So I believe there's just a matter of time before they kind of catch up and people appreciate what they are. Like, hey, it's really cool. I have a duplex that I built in Sellwood, and it rents out for twice as much as like a midterm that's on land. It's because it's cool. It's because you're on the water. It's because it's got a boat slip. It's it's a fun, and everybody that comes in there, just the common theme is can I stay? Can I extend?
Mm-hmm.
They want to stay longer. They just like want to be there. And I've had floating homes in the past, and I get that. I like being on the water, and most people do too. They come out there, they like being on the water.
So as part of this marina that you bought, did you get some homes with it that you rent out?
Not yet, but we start to.
You're going to put homes there.
Well, one thing is we have a main header dock, and then there's a little bit of gap in between the header dock and the shore. And I'm looking at that like that's free land, like, right? Because I build and I'm looking for spaces to build. I got water, sewer, electrical right on this dock, and I got the back side of it that you can build essentially all these tenders. So I'll be building like 13 of these little tenders on the back side of it that will be ours as rentals. We'll do them as office space and rentals. So we're trying to build those and try to like navigate that. So
you said in the last episode you got to run power underwater. So when you expand this, how do you run power underwater? How's that going to work?
It's sketchy, but it's scary. But the line is just sealed. Like, it's just a sealed line, and obviously the connections are not in the water. So the line actually itself is a sealed line that I guess it doesn't transfer. Supposedly.
I guess it doesn't transfer.
I would hope not.
Yeah. I'm not touching that. I'm not.
Hey, it's technology. We all trust our technology, right?
They've had these for a long time, but yeah.
So is this your favorite deal because it makes you the most money, or you just like it? Like, it's just fun?
All of the above. Yeah. Like, it is certainly the most profitable. It's bringing in like 18,000. We've got, maybe 8,000 of debt service, and so it's profiting
making money.
quite a bit. Yeah, it's the most I have out of, like, it's bringing in the most amount of money, and it's just cool. Like, we're doing these floating saunas out there. We built our first. I'm building the first one. I'm doing it myself, actually, and that's should make a lot of money. Like, it should be really cool.
You're gonna build a floating home.
Build a floating. This one's a sauna. So
the sauna, the sauna you talked about. Yeah,
this is a floating sauna, and so I looked at these like slips as they're bringing in $200 a month. That's nothing. We've already went through and did a big rent increase because everything was undervalued, and that just brought a bunch more money to the table, right? So we did that, but still $200 a month for these boat slips isn't anything.
Yeah.
So we're trying to find ways to increase the revenue around there. And so I was thinking, like, hey, I started off with tiny homes. So put these little tiny homes on the water in these boat slips that basically are looking down the gut of the channel right at Mount Hood. It's beautiful, right? And so starting on those, I was like, hey, maybe we'll do saunas too. So we started off with our first sauna, building the first sauna, and next up is going to be a little tiny home on the water that's like a little boat.
So what do you do?
Yeah.
You attach a tiny home to a platform and then drop it into the water, or do you bring it out?
Yeah,
to the marina?
I'm learning a bunch of stuff. So the putting additional floating homes like in there is a challenge. The city doesn't want that, so you can't get that. But the way around it, and Seattle's done a lot of this. You'll see a bunch of multi-million-dollar houses. They're considered a boat, so they actually have like a VIN number. They're registered with the Oregon State Marine Board, and they have a little motor on them. And I think they require them to leave every once a year or something, where they've got to like move this thing out and move it back in. Yeah. So it's kind of crazy. So yeah, they'll be like. So essentially, the floating sauna, I bought a little pontoon boat, or I should say a big party barge. So I bought a huge party barge, leveled it all the way down, so I wanted at least like a base to work with. But I ended up building additional pontoons to put underneath it, had to rebuild the structure a bunch, and basically realized I might as well just build this thing from scratch. So the next one, we'll build the full pontoons underneath all the way, weld it. Got a warehouse and a big MIG welder, and hired a full-time welder, and just like, we're going to town.
And then you drop it in the water and have somebody push it into its slip.
Well, it's got a motor on it. It's got to be a boat.
You can steer it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay, it's got a helm and a boat and everything. It's a boat. So yeah, that floating sauna, we'll be taking it out into the Columbia and chilling, sunset, watch the sun go down. It's
That's
just,
cool.
It's gonna be a
little
vibe.
Deal Junkies mastermind.
I like it.
Oh yeah. No, I mean, it was funny. Well, Gabe, Gabe Hamill, he's got his son's birthday coming up, and he was wanting to use my boat or rent it or something like that. And then it was funny because I was like, oh yeah, well, you can do that. You can help out. They come out with a boat. We got a boat that I have attached to my Airbnb is like, write off is like, hey, rent it out every now and then. So we got that attached there. And then I was like, oh, well, actually I got the floating homes opened up at that point in time. And they were like, well, shit, the sauna will be done too. Like, I mean, this is like, people want to have fun. Like, here, I got you.
That's cool.
I got you for the experiences, which I think is a lane that is hot right now. People like, I feel really comfortable about offering experiences, and they're not going to go anywhere. It's not like commercial real estate in Portland, like office building real estate in Portland.
You have a lot less competition, that's for sure. Yeah.
Right. So
cool.
Yeah.
Well, that's exciting. Thanks for telling us the story. Do you want to wrap it up? Do you have other questions, Mike?
How are you branding those? How do people find the saunas?
So elevated. So the marina was Columbia Way West. You're typically not supposed to change those names, but
oh really?
We did.
What'd you change it to? How did you change it?
Elevated Tides. So Elevated Tides is the name of the marina, and Elevated Tides Experiences is the sauna.
Sounds like a dispensary.
Home. Elevated Tides.
When's Boats and Homes coming?
Boats and Homes is my.
That's your production company.
That's my. My Seaworthy Construction. Seaworthy Construction is my construction name, and that's building boats and homes. So I got a warehouse, and I've got my first floating sauna that's up there, and I got a tiny home that's in there, and we're building boats and homes.
That's cool.
So, yeah,
exciting.
And then you said you're getting approved to build modular.
Yeah, just had a meeting with the state yesterday on like finalizing plans and all that, and that's got me really excited.
That's
so
cool.
The modular stuff should be fun.
Floating modular or modular for ADU?
Modular for land, right? And then the warehouse will be filling, orders as necessary. So we can build these boxes and set them on a pontoon, or we build these boxes and set them on on foundation. The cool thing I like about the modular is they're financeable. So you're putting that thing on a foundation. It's all, it's all approved, state approved, city approved, and you build these like tiny little units and for a lot less than I can stick build them. Hopefully, I should say. We'll see. I think. Yeah, I think
that's what the model in your head says. You can build them for
great last words. I think.
Yeah, right. So,
all right, guys, we're going to wrap this one up. Dustin Michael Miller, if you ever want to know more about real estate that floats, you can reach out to him on Instagram or Facebook. We sure appreciate you coming to the studio today and tell us your story. It's really impressive to hear you from where you came and where you are and what you're doing. It's super impressive. So
thanks for having me.
Thanks for being here, man. It was a lot of fun. Deal Junkies, we love you. Share us, subscribe, and we'll see you next time.